Live from Lakeland, Florida, this is the Brown Report. Thank you so much for listening tonight to the program. We greatly appreciate it. If you like the show, make sure you get the show on all of our different podcast places. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Spreaker, Apple iTunes. Get the show there. Tell us what you like. Tell us what you don't like. You can message us on Instagram, Getter. You can get us on Twitter, and you can get us on Truth Social, the Donald Trump place to be apparently here on the Brown Report. All right, tonight Bill's out, but Robert's in. What's up, Robert?
Hey, how's it going? Listen, second time's a charm. No, that's third time. So I guess I need a third time, but it's great to be on the Brower Report for the second time, man.
Yeah, I'm glad to have you back. Now, did you hear the bumper music tonight, or was that a no?
No, I actually did not hear it.
Okay, we're working on that sound quality. You'll hear it on the podcast, folks, but
yeah,
it's just, I'm not saying we're low cost, but we're low cost.
Budget friendly, that's the way to do it.
Yeah, we're trying the best that we can. We're not the federal government printing trillions of dollars and paying for all sorts of gender affirming surgeries in Europe and stuff. That's not what we do here on the Brower Report. All right, so we got lots of stuff to talk about tonight. But first, Bill's out. Bill's got a thing he's got going on. He'll be back next week on the show. But for all you wonderful listeners out there that have made us jump over 100% over last month, thank you for listening. We greatly appreciate it. Make sure you share the links with your friends and family. The links are included pretty much on every post you see on social media. So if you see it, share the post. That's how we do it. That's how we beat the algorithms. That's how we defeat the left-wing nut jobs at social media companies. So thanks again, folks. We appreciate it. All right, so lots of stuff to talk about, Robert. Let's start the show tonight with let's see. A Democrat is slammed after, now let's put this in quotes, accidentally saying Trump needs to be shot before quickly correcting herself. Robert, this just seems like one of those Freudian slips they call, where she actually said what she meant.
Who was the one that said this?
It's the Democrat Virginia Islands delegate, Stacey Plaskett. Everybody knows her.
Okay.
Everybody knows her. I mean, MSNBC must love her because this is definitely one of those people that MSNBC digs out from nowhere that has no actual power, has no voting power in Congress. Yeah. But they pick up this person that will say anything on TV, even if it's an accident.
Accidents are accidents. But sometimes when you say something, and listening and seeing how it was said, yeah, definitely not an accident. I mean, definitely, I would even say scripted, and that's probably why they brought this no-name person onto the show and said, "Hey, we want you to say this, but do it this way." I didn't mean to say that.
Oh no, I would never say something that you just did. Okay, so let's get a little background. So Plaskett, who represents a non-voting U.S. territory, was criticizing Trump's handling of classified documents during a live segment on, guess what, MSNBC on Sunday. When she made the comment, 10 people were watching. It's MSNBC on a Sunday. Who really watches it at all?
Right.
So here's her quote. Having Trump not only having the codes, but now having the classified information for Americans and being able to put that out and share it in his resort with anyone and everything who comes through. Wait. So she said anyone and everything. So is she talking about all the pronoun police?
Exactly.
Who? Okay, now I'm not a perfect person, Robert. We know this. I run a podcast and I can't say words sometimes, okay? All right? But, you're getting on TV, you're going on MSNBC. Sure, 10 people are watching, okay? But you should keep yourself professional. She says, in his resort with anyone and everything. So who's everything? I mean, these
The Bushes. I mean, not the Bushes people, but
maybe the Bushes. Who
Bush.
knows?
Yeah, and I just I don't know. It seems like when they say stuff like this, and it's a Democrat, it seems like it gets to pass. But if Republicans make, or conservatives, if they make the slightest innuendo that's not even negative, they get hammered. I mean, and the thing is, it's not just even on the Democrat side; it's on the conservative side too, because the conservatives will slam the Republicans or the conservative folks that made the offhanded comment or whatever that really isn't nothing to throw the wind to, but they don't do the same for the Democrats. At least I feel that they don't.
Yeah, it's in. I guess. I mean, it goes back to I guess the 1980s thing where the Republicans, and the Democrats would go out for beers after work, after like slandering each other. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe 1 or 2% of the people are decent human beings, maybe, and actually care about the direction of the country. The rest of them, it's a get rich quick scheme in D.C. because I don't know how you make $10 million come out of nowhere when you make like 150 grand a year. I'm still not understanding how this, this money tree develops there in D.C. But this Virginia Islands delegate, Stacey Plassick, I mean, it's just another left-wing nut job that comes out and starts, rattling nonsense to the American people. It's like, you've got no power. It's like MSNBC dug up a delegate from the Virgin Islands that has no voting power, can't write a bill, can't vote on a bill for that matter, and from a territory that, maybe has like 100,000 people plus. I don't know how many people live there, but it's definitely not enough to be a state. I mean, why are they digging these people up? It's like digging up dead voters to vote for Democrats. I mean, that's how bad it is.
Nobody wants to be on their show, not even the Democrats.
Apparently, because they're trying to go across the world to territories. Maybe Guam's next week, or American Samoa. They'll find somebody over there to slam Trump. All right. So Mark Cuban, you can love him, you can hate him, you can kind of be in the middle about him. I think he's kind of entertaining. Shark Tank, he's a Shark Tank guy. He made a lot of money through the tech world, owns the Dallas Mavericks, won a title. I mean, he's been a pretty successful guy, right? So I'll give that to Mark Cuban. He's a lefty.
I really liked him. I mean, I thought he was like my favorite Shark Tank guy. And then I found out that he's a huge liberal. And that was a complete, I hate to say it because, a huge turnoff. I mean, just anything that he said, it's like, you make no sense because if you're talking about capitalism and making money, I mean, you're going completely against what you preach, And for him to jump in and make these next comments is just, I'll let you take it on from here because I didn't hear this one, but I believe that he's just lost it.
Well, here's the definition of Mark Cuban: limousine liberal. That's what he is.
Yeah.
That's what he is. He enjoys capitalism, but he wants everybody to live under socialism. He likes his money, but no one else should, and it goes both ways, I think. We have limousine liberal Republicans, too. They're like, oh, we're going to help people, but they really don't help anybody at all.
Right.
It's a club, and they don't want you in it. They want you to be dependent on them, keep them rich, but you're never going to join their club. That's why they don't like people being successful and breaking that ceiling. They want to tax you to death before you get there. So we got billionaire Mark Cuban, accused podcast host Joe Rogan of becoming everything supposedly wrong with the mainstream media in a tweet on Sunday after Rogan and Elon Musk pushed for a Debate between a prominent vaccine scientist and Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Cuban, in a lengthy tweet, you can see this online, folks, by the way, claimed Rogan was speaking in generalities and said trying to bully Dr. Peter Hotez was ridiculous. Joe and you at Elon Musk at Twitter are the mainstream online media, and your platform have become everything supposedly wrong with the mainstream media. Has Mark Cuban ever once been MSNBC or CNN with the death tolls during COVID?
Right.
And
Right.
but we don't have the death tolls of all the people that got vaxxed and had
Yep.
myocarditis.
Right.
So these sudden deaths. I follow a page on Instagram, Robert, of died suddenly. And it's like all these young people. It's like random. They're just dying. They're just falling out and just dying. And I made a conscious effort to, and I'm not an anti-vaxxer, okay? I'm not, okay? I am a pro-science because I believe science comes from God because God created everything, right? So God is science. God created everything, created the universe, created the elements, created everything that we use today to make things. But as human beings do stupid things, right? So we need, as consumers and people that are actually smart, is look at the data and be truthful about it. I mean, we're pushing in this country COVID vaccines, and the emergency is over. The national emergency is over. And these COVID vaccines are not FDA approved. And we don't have any information really on them. And Pfizer trying to lock down the results for 75 years. Why would a company want to lock down the data and information for 75 years unless you had something to hide? Why would why, that is the ultimate red flag. Even if you said a year or two, it should be public knowledge. This is if it's a national emergency, we should know as consumers. And if you're pushing this thing, I need to know information. I have a right to know. What's your thoughts on it?
I mean, one, I would like to see this debate. I think that would be good. We know it's never going to happen. Because if even with the vaccine scientists, I mean, they're going to throw out, these ridiculous numbers that they've made up because they control the numbers. But, I know many people that have pretty much I actually know 3 people that are currently going through the process of reversing the vaccine through a doctor. Because
whoa.
Yeah.
This is breaking news. So, I mean, I've never heard this before. So you know 3 people that are trying to reverse it?
I know someone, and they live in Lakeland.
Okay.
They're in their 40s, and they received the vaccine. And I think after the second dose, within a month or two, she had a heart attack.
What?
And she's a healthy person, and she went and sought out a doctor that is giving her medicine to basically reject the vaccine.
Okay.
Now,
hold on, Robert. Hold on. You're breaking. Okay, listen, and I'm not trying to be a conspiracy theory guy. Okay, you're breaking up, brother. You're breaking up. Your phone is breaking up.
Is my phone breaking?
As you're telling this story, the phone is breaking up on my end.
Okay.
I'm not lying, folks.
So then the FBI is listening.
Someone's listening. Someone doesn't want this information. But continue. Yeah. Tell me more.
So there are doctors out there that believe that the vaccine is, and I think there's a lot of doctors that did believe in the vaccine. And now, as things are coming out, I mean, look at, what's that guy's name? The Jewish guy, the big Ben Shapiro.
Yes.
Came out and said, they pushed for the vaccine. Now he's not as much. I mean, I don't know if he still is, but I read an article or saw something or that he his wife is a doctor, and she's not pushing the vaccine anymore. But I think when they do stuff like um, hide the numbers, try to lock down the numbers. This person is I don't know if the doctor is here in Lakeland. Um, I know the person lives in Lakeland, and they've had several consults. There's not much information that I've gotten recently. This
Mm-hmm.
was about 6, 7 months ago that we had the conversation, and we've seen each other several times since then. It's a family friend that we see every now and then, but yeah, she was in the hospital for a couple days, and I think with that was a myocarditis or the common one.
Myocarditis. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's what she had, but she believed, and she, believe it or not, she is still she's a big liberal, and I don't know if maybe this changes her mind or not, but and then I have a ton of liberal friends that have not gotten the vaccine because they don't trust it. So I think there's some equal amount of distrust out there whenever you try to hide and 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 put stuff on the back burner and say, let's forget about it for 75 years, 5 years, 10 years, you know. But yeah, so I'll have to follow up with her, and next time I get on, I'll give you guys an update.
Yeah, please.
But I mean, she hasn't had any really issues since she's been, if you can call it, detransitioning from the from the vaccine. She's like I said, she was healthy before, and before the vaccine, really never had any problems, and then she had a heart issue.
Okay, let me ask you this. I know you have talked to this person. Has this person told you about what they're doing in terms of treatment to, I guess, reverse it? And is this like this mRNA still in her? Has she said this?
Yeah, so I know because this was. So I think it was last year. Was it 2020? The end of like close to 2021, I believe, is whenever she either got the second or third. I don't remember what they were on
Do
at
you know
that
what
time.
shot? Was it the Pfizer?
I think it was the multiple one.
Okay.
Like I said, I didn't get any of them, so I don't. I don't follow them to know which one's one or two. To be honest with you, but so she did have several consults and did start the process, which is what she had said. And I've never, just kind of wanted to be sensitive. Not that I was trying to prod from her, but but I'll definitely. Actually saw her a couple week or so ago, so I'm gonna have to bring that up back in
Yeah,
conversation.
I mean, your friends, and
Sure.
and
Yeah, yeah,
and I think it's important that of course, she will remain nameless. Of course, we don't want to put anybody's name out there,
right.
especially the private health information. But I think it's very important that we have a discussion, about stories from people that are being affected by this. I
Yeah.
know several people that have had skin issues. They've had, they feel ill all the time, and it's amazing that this is being tolerated in the medical community, and they push this thing like it was like the holy grail. And if
Right.
someone, they say is something, some things are just too good to be true. I mean, that was too good to be true. And they said it couldn't be spread. Once you get it, you can't spread it anymore. That was a lie. It actually doesn't
Right.
work at all. I mean, people still were ending up in the hospital. They were getting sick after taking this thing. And I'm not a scientist, but it's like, we got people that are like, they don't want to take a vitamin unless they or like know what's in it, but they were lining up to be injected with something that's never been used before. That's scary. That's
Yeah.
that's
No.
cheap. Lining up, and the corporations And the pharmaceutical companies were pushing it. They were threatening to fire people if you didn't take this experimental drug that's never been tested on humans. And they said, oh, we went through tests. No, you didn't. I mean, 2 or 3 months? I mean, that's not real testing. Give me a break. You don't know these side effects for 5, 10, 15, 20 years down the line. I mean, and Congress gave them immunity. So it's like remember Monsanto with Roundup and stuff? They had immunity too for a long time until Bayer bought them out. I guess the immunity wore off at that point, kind of like the vaccine, it just wore off. But there's a lot of things out there that the government is involved in that is shadier than shady. And if you really think they really care about you, we used to say, I mean, not we, me and you, Robert, but the Navy was setting off nuclear explosions in the Pacific Ocean and irradiating sailors. I mean, how, the country that locked up, Japanese descendants in World War II, that, pushed across the U.S., all these things that this government has done over the years. The American people are not evil. But once you got people in the power that want to keep it, they will do about anything they can in the name of keeping that power. So you got to be very careful, whether it's a Democrat, Republican, Libertarian, whoever it may be. Absolute power absolutely corrupts. If you watch Star Wars, I mean, we don't have a Palpatine. I mean, Joe Biden kind of looks like Palpatine a little bit. He's kind of getting old, but definitely doesn't have like the light show coming out of his fingers or anything like that. I mean, there's not even a light on in Biden sometimes. Did you see Biden fall at that Air Force graduation, by the way?
I did. I think they said, I think I saw a couple news outlets saying, he popped right back up. And I'm thinking, no, he had to be picked up.
No, he got picked up, not popped right up. I mean, you got to have the wording right. Corn Pop was a bad dude, and he did not pop up.
Corn Pop did not pop up.
Oh, my gosh.
I love it.
There was a video of a female. Was this the Air Force? I think it was Air Force, right? Or was it Navy graduation? I can't remember. They look similar.
I think Navy. I think it was Navy.
Okay, Navy. There was a Navy sailor, a woman, that looked over and just walked away. I'm like, I'm not getting involved in this. It's like, nope, not today. It's like, they got this.
Yeah. Right.
And, I can't blame her. It's like, there's too much going on in this world. I'm not going to get my face in this.
Yeah, I watched it so many times. The people in the background were pretty much holding in laughter. I know. I mean, I know. I think I said this last time I was on the show. I feel bad for Biden. Into the sense of he's so old, he has no idea what he's doing.
It's elder abuse. That's what it is.
It is. Absolutely, it is. Absolutely, it's elder abuse.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, someone drains an old person's bank account. I mean, you get thrown in jail for that. But you put this guy out there in front of everybody, and that's not elder abuse?
Right.
I mean, come on.
Right. Exactly.
It's really ridiculous what this country's come down to.
It is.
Pushing a feeble old man that couldn't get out, of a basement during an election, and people fell for it. They fell for it, and it just shows you the quality of the education system we have in the United States right now, that people can be duped that easily here.
Exactly.
All right, so next topic. Oh my goodness. So you got the IRS scammers, right? It's like I need the Apple gift cards. I need Walmart gift cards to settle your IRS debt, or you're going to be thrown in jail.
Yeah. Yeah.
We got those, right? We know the stories about threatening stuff, but an alleged home visit conducted by an IRS agent that involved highly concerning behavior prompted Republican Ohio Rep. Jim Jordan. Love Jim Jordan. I think he's one of the good guys out there.
Yeah, I think so.
So he sent an inquiry Friday via letter to the head of the agency. So the House Judiciary Committee and its select subcommittee on weaponization of the federal government received a report of an IRS agent conducting a field visit allegedly providing an Ohio taxpayer an alias instead of his real name, using deception to secure entry into the person's home. The incident reportedly occurred in late April in Marion, a city of North Columbus. The congressman who chairs the committee wrote in a letter addressed to IRS Commissioner Daniel Werfel that the allegations raise serious questions about the IRS's commitment to fundamental civil liberties. They're faking their names? Is this like CIA stuff?
I wonder, is this, I mean, was it just a regular, Joe? Or was this someone that they were really, I mean, what ties would they have to enter a person's home using deception and a fake name? And that's what to me that's very concerning. I mean, if it truly is an IRS, I mean, did they say it was an IRS?
It was using a fake name.
I mean, that's just,
but why? Why use a fake name? I mean, what is the cloak and dagger deception level needed to get into someone's house using a fake name? There's something nefarious going on there. Why use a fake name? Because you're doing something shady. Hello, that's how it works.
Right.
I think you're a government employee. You're an employee getting paid by taxpayers. You're trying to enter someone's home as a taxpayer and trying to deceive them. This is really concerning. This isn't just like if the FBI pretending to be, Fed boys at January 6th, wearing their shorts and their collar T-shirts and like, hey, fellow Republican.
Right.
But IRS agents are now doing it. Can you imagine 87,000 new ones running around under aliases trying to get in your house? That's going to be amazing stuff.
I'm telling you, if people are saying they want more government, they want them to support them more, and then you got to deal with stuff like this. Listen, I'd rather be on my own in the woods than have to deal with.
Oh, don't worry. You have to pay taxes to be in the woods. They're going to find out a reason to tax you. They're going to find you.
Yeah, they will. You're right. You're right.
That one time you hit the Wi-Fi. Oh, we found him. That's what happens. The kid hits the Wi-Fi. All of a sudden, boom! FBI man, open up. That's what's going to happen. It's unfortunate, but that's why a lot of people want to get off the grid. But it's hard to get off the grid, man. I mean, the grid is it's the Matrix now. We're all part of this big, huge inner web of deceit and deception now going on in this world.
You brought it up. I call them scammers. And I actually received an email on my personal email account saying that my PayPal had been charged $809.99 for an iPhone that I purchased. And two things with a red flag. One, I don't have a PayPal under my email address. And two, I haven't purchased an iPhone.
I mean, they got you there.
Right. So, I watched a couple. I watched a guy. I won't say his name because I don't know if we can do that on this show. But there's a guy I watch on YouTube.
You can say his name. It's fine.
Okay. All right. His name is Scammer Payback, and he is.
Oh, I love that guy.
He is the real deal. He actually takes donations from his viewers and he gives it back to people that have been wronged. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to call these people. So I called these people, and I spent about 30, 45 minutes with them, and just kind of doing what he does, just fumbling around with my paperwork and saying I don't understand. I told them that I ordered the iPhone and I wanted the iPhone. And why are you now saying you want to cancel? I mean, I had them going. And so they finally wanted me to log into a website, which is where the scam comes in, where they go in and they want you to go in and go into your bank account, and they make changes to your bank account. And so that's what they wanted. And whenever they did that, I kind of, they're like, what does it say? And it says, well, I just wasted your time because I know you're a scammer, and I need to go watch like Scammer Payback or something like that. And the guy laughed and then hung up on me. But hey, 45 minutes of their time, was definitely of my time, definitely well worth it for them to get nothing out of it.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
and they
They wasted their time.
yeah, yeah. So, and then I have the email still. So, I might call them when I'm bored one Saturday. You never know.
Well,
But
I get
I'll wait
those
till that.
emails all the time. I'm getting PayPal, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, USAA. Your account's
Yeah,
locked up. Blah blah blah. It's like, really, guys. It's like
yeah.
and I have an iPhone, so I look at the mail and I click on the email address, see where it's from. It's from .com.
Yeah.
Come on, guys. But here's the thing: they mass email this stuff out. They mass email it, and
hmm
they wouldn't do it unless there were suckers out there that actually fall for it.
Yeah.
And that's
You
the
know what?
thing; they fall for it.
Yeah. I mean, I know people that have given and bought stuff on Facebook and have never received it, and it's like, no, because they did the gift card, they got suckered in, and they
Oh
did the gift card,
no, they got
and
suckered
it's
into
like,
that one.
no,
Oh,
yeah, it was. I don't remember who it was. I remember talking. It was somebody I talked to like a couple weeks ago, and they're like, "Yeah, that happened to me." I'm like, "Man, no, that's a red flag right there."
it's
You
like they
know?
want gift cards paid
Yeah,
online before you meet to
yeah,
make payment. Come on, man. Even Joe
yeah.
Biden doesn't fall for that stuff. Come on,
Hey,
man.
speaking of Joe Biden, more voters increasingly believe Joe Biden is involved in the family business.
What's
Go figure.
a family
Go,
business? What kind of
you know,
business is
while
that? I need to know more.
listen, while Joe Biden on multiple occasions has denied the involvement with his family's business dealings, including speaking with Hunter Biden about these deals, polling provides a window into the public's growing belief that the Biden family business somehow involved Joe Biden. Of course. So recent pollsters have said that they polled, and first of all, I think sometimes when you poll things, you really want to see where people are at. And I think the majority of who they poll, I think 90% are liberal, are left leaning people that they poll. To be honest with you, at least from what I've heard and what I've researched about these polls. But in April of 2022, 58% of voters told the pollster that Joe Biden played a role in his family's business. Just was it 6 months later in September of 22, it jumped to 62% had told Rossman, excuse me, can't even say it, that Joe Biden likely consulted and perhaps even provided the Biden family business deals. Then just a few months later, Harvard, so three different polls going on here. Harvard Harris slash Harris. It says the poll released in February that 62% of voters believe Joe Biden participated in his family's business deals, 4 points less than June's poll. So I guess June's is higher. I mean, I think anybody that is breathing knows that Joe Biden is not innocent. I believe a lot of people and even conservatives just look the other way and they're like, well, I don't know that. I mean, I've had this conversation with conservatives. Well, we don't know that for sure, so we really can't say that. Well, you know what? The proof is right there of what he has said in public is that so I'm just hoping more and more, and we don't even know if he's even running in 24. We don't even know if he's running next year.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but I think there's a lot of I think these numbers are just going to go higher.
I
What's your thought?
Here's what I don't understand. How can Joe Biden not be in the family business? His son's a crackhead. And I'm not. And here's the thing, folks. Robert, I'm trying not to. Oh, I'm trying to hold back tonight. I'm really trying to hold back. I'm trying to be a good person. I am trying my best.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Joe Biden's son impregnated a stripper, tells said stripper that the child cannot use his last name, is suing, so they can't, make his name any worse than it already is.
Right.
And I think he had an illegal gun as well. He got dishonorable discharge for cocaine use. I mean,
yep.
Then he got this job in the Ukraine with this Ukrainian energy company as a consultant in making all this money. That's the American dream right there. A crackhead that can't do anything right gets a job. It's like Trading Places. Remember that Trading Places, Trading Spaces thing back in the 80s?
Oh, yeah.
That's real life Trading Spaces, I think.
Yeah.
Some poor Ukrainian gas guy that knew what he was doing was, said, hey, you guys are doing crack. Well, this crackhead becomes, what you're doing. I hate to see what happened to that guy. Maybe he's the president of Ukraine now. I don't know. I can't say that for sure. But this is concerning where they're doing this investigation and they're saying they're going down all these rabbit holes because they have all these different shell companies, these fake companies trying to run money around. Who you really need involved here, it's not the FBI, it's not the CIA, it's not the USDA.
Right.
You need the IRS involved. Because if it involves money, let the IRS do it. Because that's how they got Jimmy Hoffa, right? Is that how they got Jimmy Hoffa? Tax evasion? And that's how they got him. Yeah, that's how they got him. So that's how you get them. You get them with racketeering. You get them with tax evasion. All you got to do is find $5 million for good old Creepy Joe that came from somewhere and he didn't report on his taxes. That's all you got to really do. But now you got Hunter is pleading out with the IRS for tax issues. But there's people every day that are thrown in jail for tax issues. But Hunter's getting off scot-free. I mean, him and his veneers are doing great out there right now. It's a true American story. The Bidens are the royal family of corruption in the United States right now. It's sad, but it's true. And I'll tell you why a lot of people don't, want to talk about it. It's because what's really going to happen, Robert? I mean, and I'm being honest. What's really going to happen to these scumbags? I mean, they're taking blood money. They're creating these situations that start wars, and no one's stopping them. Now, I'll tell you what's going to happen. Jesus is going to get a hold of them one day, and the judgment's going to come down on them.
Right.
And I hate to say this, but it's going to be a well-deserved one. Because, I mean, they're hurting people, they're stealing from people, and they're not being, as Joe Biden claims to be a good Catholic, not being a good Catholic, folks. No.
Right.
I mean, Corn Pop was a bad dude. Joe Biden's a bad dude. He's not a good guy. And there's not a lot of good people out there, in politics, and Joe is definitely not one of them.
Right. No, you're right there, and it's just it's just too believable that for people not to believe it. I know that sounds stupid to say, but it is too believable for people to turn ahead. So,
but people do every day. They hold their nose. They vote for this guy. I'm the same guy that says, if you don't vote for me, you're not black. Remember that one?
Right. Yeah, I do.
I mean, how do people ignore his blatant racism on so many occasions? Didn't he? And he said one time, Barack Obama's the first ever clean-cut, educated black man or whatever. He talked about Indian people. You can't go to 7-Eleven or Dunkin' Donuts without having a slight Indian accent. I mean, This guy is just putting out a tape of, hey, all you need is a hood. I mean,
Right.
that's how bad it is. And he said the N-word during, a congressional hearing when he's in the Senate. Just started to drop the N-bomb. I mean, dude, use your brain. Have some class. Oh, I'm sorry. He has no class. Been accused of sexual assault. The list goes on. This guy's not a good dude. He claims to be this everyday guy. It's a lie. The guy is corrupt beyond corrupt. His son is corrupt. His brother is corrupt. The whole family is corrupt from top to bottom. All liars. But if they don't get justice in this earthly world, they will get it in the afterlife. Trust me on that. God says it in the Bible. Don't worry about this kind of stuff. He will judge them. So you can't worry about all this stuff. We have other things to do, like protect our friends and family, work hard, provide for them, and let Joe and his family get the repercussions later on for the judgment. All right. One more topic, then we're going to do the wonderful, by popular demand, Bible verse of the day. Bible verses tonight of the day. I know. I love this. I love that part of the day. Really getting to God's word and like breaking it down and talking about it. Because when you hear the truth, that's the truth, folks.
That's right.
Read the Bible. Read it. Because that's God's inspired word coming out to you and grabbing you and saying, this is what you need to focus on. This is it. Oh,
that's right.
Man, I feel good.
Right.
I feel good. I feel empowered by it. It's like when you have the truth, who can defeat you? You know the truth.
That's right. Yes, sir.
It's amazing. All right. So speaking of truth, let's talk about fact checkers. Isn't it funny how that just works out? We just roll right into the topics and we just talk about something. Boom. Oh, there's the next topic. Oh, how professional of us to have a great transition here. That's what we do here. We have great transitions. Not transformations. Transitions. Remember?
Transition. Yeah.
Yes. Different topic, different thing. We're not cutting things and morphing things tonight on the show. All right. So the UN introduces automated fact-checking tool to combat what they deem as misinformation. Didn't Facebook have this? It's like automatic, baby. It was automatic. They slapped every time I said something. They slap a notice on it, man. They slap a notice on it. It was like, wow, that was quick. And it's like. And I would get the information from another source, post it on my page, boom, slapped right on it, but not on the other page. Not on the other page. Because I am apparently a danger to society. I'm a danger to everything the liberals want done. Destroying America, enslaving us economically forever. Transitioning your kids into frogs or whatever they're trying to do this week. I'm apparently a bad guy. I'm a bad guy. So, in a collaboration with big tech and Soros-funded organizations, Soros involved in like a scandal?
No way.
Never. He's the boogeyman. He doesn't do anything wrong. So, the United Nations has introduced a new automated fact-checking program to combat so-called disinformation and hate speech on the internet. The United Nations developed program, UNDP, has developed its iVerify platform to combat alleged disinformation and hate speech online in response to what they call online information pollution, which they claim is a growing global challenge. So, global warming and pollution, climate change, disinformation.
Yeah.
They use all these keywords. It's like a word salad, Robert. They use a word salad trying to explain these things to us. It's like online information pollution. So they're saying we're polluting the online, like the online ozone layer is going to be depleted, or the online temperature will increase and burn up all of the metaverse at one time. It's like these guys in the blue hats and the UN Security Council full of, genocidal maniacs are trying to combat, misinformation. If anything, the Chinese had this on lockdown, man. The Chinese, man, they filter everything. I mean, they get quality TikTok, and we get, eat Tide Pods TikTok. How to steal a Kia and a Hyundai TikTok,
right?
While they're getting how to be an astrophysicist or an astronaut or work to cure cancer. That's what the Chinese are getting, and we're getting how to put a condom through your nose, or smoke a dryer sheet or whatever they're doing this week. So there is an ability to stop information, not even disinformation, but information, period. A few years ago, I discovered this. I would post a meme, and it had words on it, right? Because, I speak English, and that's what I put on my memes, right?
Right.
So, and all of a sudden, it would flag it automatically. So I'm like, how do they know that this meme is something... Because it's a picture, right? It's a picture with words on it. So how were they able to flag it immediately? So I would put I would put it like in a meme maker or something and kind of change it up a little bit. It would still hit it. And I'm like, how in the world are they doing this? Well,
I remember when you did that.
Yeah.
I remember when you were doing that. And it's like, definitely targeted.
Yes.
They definitely target accounts, or if it's a video that has been shared over and over and over, it's definitely targeted. And to me, if I see something and I'm bored, I'm scrolling through Facebook or Instagram, and I see something where it says this is covered up, or this has been fact checked, I'm definitely watching that, and I'm definitely reading that article.
Yes, exactly. It's like, thank you for letting me know.
And for whatever reason, I think almost every single time it aligns with my views and the way I think as a conservative. I don't think one time it's ever aligned with a liberal, with a liberal mindset, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. So these memes, I was like wondering how in the world were they doing it. Then one day, my iPhone updated, and I pressed on it to save a picture, and all of a sudden it's highlighting words. So I don't know if it was Apple that came up with it or who came up with the technology, or maybe it was something that's been out for a while. But they have computer programs that are scrubbing these memes for words, and that's how they're identifying memes now. So if you create a meme through Meme Maker or whatever program you use, they have computer programs that are reading these things and flagging them now. Before, they would flag your words that you type out, very easy. But then they started going for the memes a few years back, and it's like they're creating technology to stop disinformation. But apparently all the disinformation I was sharing came to life. So it's like, I need some backsies here, guys. I need my pages back that you deleted and all these things, because I was right. And that's the scariest part is you have multi-billion-dollar companies working with the feds trying to limit people's speech. As soon as the federal government gets involved, that's a First Amendment issue. And this company should have been shut down immediately. If they're working with the government to quail, whatever, free speech, that's an automatic no-go. They, honestly, especially during election season, that's treason. Yeah. That's treasonous.
Agreed.
Because if you did that to a newspaper, which they did it to the New York Post with Hunter's laptop, if we remember, when Twitter blocked that right before the election, these things are coming to life, and people are just not I mean, there's people that are tuned into this kind of stuff, but there's so many sheep out there walking around thinking that there's nothing wrong. All the while, you have these evil people in the background that are manipulating algorithms to feed you things. Like the other night, when I was on Instagram going through Reels, I got a Disney algorithm. It's all Disney related type of Reels of people, doing different stuff with Disney and stuff. And my wife's like, how, what'd you do here? It's like, well, that's the algorithm they're feeding me right now. I must have liked a video about Disney, and also that's all they fed me. So it's they try to hook you in to these things to get you addicted to it. It's giving you the serotonin or whatever. They're giving you that high like a drug user would get by giving you all these things. Now, I'm a guy, I like social media, Robert. I don't know about you. I enjoy watching the reels and the funny stuff, and I enjoy that stuff. Gives me a laugh and stuff. And some of it's educational. I share it on social media. But these people out there, they are really trying to manipulate young people and the American people, and people around the world for that matter, into believing things that are just not true.
Yeah.
Yes, we live in a crazy world, man. We do.
We do.
We should read Revelation one night on the air. Let's open the seals, the four horsemen of the apocalypse.
That might be a whole show of its own.
Yes, it would be.
Oh man.
So,
yes, sir.
As we close the show tonight, we do the Bible verses of the day. So this is Hebrews 11, 1 through 6. This is that faith in action. So, Robert, would you like to read this tonight for us?
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. Can't even talk. Absolutely.
You're so excited about it. I can tell.
I'm excited to read the Bible. That's the truth. Hebrews 11, 1 through 6. So 11, it says, now faith is confidence in what we hope for, and assurance about in what we see. This is what the ancients or I cannot read.
Okay, tonight. I'll read it. I know you're excited about it. I'll read it. How's that?
I in my behalf, I've had a big migraine today. It hasn't gone away.
That is true. You messaged me earlier, said, I got a big migraine, but I want to be on the show still. I said, that's great. I'll read it. Here we go. All right.
Thank you.
All right. Hey, thanks for being here, Robert. That's the biggest thing.
I'm glad.
You made the effort to be on the show, and I appreciate that, brother. I really do.
Yeah.
All right, so we got faith in action. So now faith is confidence in what we hope for and assurance about what we do not see. This is what the ancients were committed for. By faith, we understand that the universe was formed at God's command, so that what is seen was not made out of what was visible. By faith, Abel brought God a better offering than Cain did. But by faith, he has commended as righteous when God spoke well of his offering. And by faith, Abel still speaks, even though he is dead. By faith, Enoch was taken from this life so that he did not experience death. He could not be found because God had taken him away. For before he was taken, he was commended as one who pleased God. And without faith, it is impossible to please God, because anyone who comes to him must believe that he exists and that he rewards those who earnestly seek him. That's big stuff there.
That is.
It's faith. It's faith in God.
It says here, I do want to point this out. It says, by faith, we are commended as righteousness when God spoke well of his offerings, and by faith Abel still speaks, and by faith Abel still speaks, even though he is dead. And that just says, a lot of people think, that the word of God is dead. It's an ancient Bible. It doesn't have any meaning. And we're like, no. It says, even though we still have the faith, and it still speaks to us today. That's how I kind of interpret that. I'm not a big theologian, but just in my small brain, it says, by my faith, because my faith is what it is, I'm able to uh, uh, you know, be able to learn and be able to learn from the Bible, and it speaks through me, and it's not dead. It's not dead. And so I encourage, if you're not a Bible reader, if you're not, if I can say the word religious, I guess, or if you don't have a relationship with Jesus, definitely look into that. It's not going to hurt.
Yeah,
It's not going to hurt at all.
yeah, and get involved in a good Bible study.
Mm.
Get with people that really dig into it. I mean, I go to a church, and on Wednesday nights we do a great Bible study. We dig deep. We dig deep into it.
Yeah.
It's like we're trying to find out what the meanings are, and sometimes there's a lot of different opinions on something because we weren't there, when it was written, and we don't have the entire context of it. But these stories that are in the Bible are inspired from God. It's like,
That's right.
if we read these things, and you kind of got to put your feet into the time frame of these events occurring. If you
Mm-hmm.
can, without our 2023 mindset of technology and all the things we have around us, all the creature comforts, put yourself into their situation without all the knowledge that we have now.
Right.
That's the thing. You got to put yourself like first century, church, understand what was going on, in even before that with the Israelites and their struggles. You have to dig deep, folks.
Right.
This
Yep.
I mean, this is a history of the world, and also it tells us the future of the world.
Right.
If they nailed all the history, it's all connected, and it's just that's why it's the best-selling book, the most distributed book ever in the world,
Right.
because it's a true story. It's about God and Jesus' love for humanity. We're
Right.
not perfect, but it's like if you read John, it's the love story of how Jesus loved us so much.
Right.
You could look at Matthew, and Matthew is the book written to the Jews, about Jesus. Then you have Mark, that was written to the Gentiles. So you have all these different books, and it's amazing. And I think Luke was Luke was a doctor, and Luke went around, and Luke, by his he very scientific and everything because he was a doctor, he wanted to discredit what was going on, but actually he found out it was all true. He found the places, and they had other people later on, investigating this in, I think, the 20th century. And it's like, it's all true. It all matches up. They were finding things like artifacts saying this is real. It's like these places actually existed. These cities that were mentioned that were long gone, they found them. It's like it's true. It's like it's amazing that Luke wrote a history book, like a literal history book. And it's amazing when you start digging these things, like, wow. Like, this book was made for humanity. And people just don't pick it up enough. They don't trust enough. I mean, if you're trusting reality TV, you got some real issues in your life. You need to pick up a Bible today. Because that's not real life, folks. That's scripted. You want real life? You want to know about wars and some crazy stuff that went on in history? Read the Bible. Read Judges. Right. Have you read Judges before, Robert?
Yes.
Oh,
yes, I have.
My Lord.
Yeah.
Read Judges. Those guys, woo, they did some stuff.
Yes, sir.
They should do a movie about that. You know, there'll be several movies. Read Judges, folks, and you will see, wow, that's some crazy stuff going on. And it's amazing. Get in a good Bible study, folks. That's all I can say. Get in a good Bible study and get some good discussions and start understanding what a lot of this stuff means. All right. I've talked enough, I think. Have I talked enough tonight? Maybe. I don't know.
You've done great. Not too much.
Thank you, Robert. Thank you. You know, thank you to the folks. You know, thank you so much for having confidence in me. You know, say, hold on, Taylor. Hold on, Taylor. He's like, it's my turn. It's my turn. I'm like Kanye tonight. It's my turn. It's my turn. All right. You'll have your time in a second, Taylor. No, I'm just joking. I'm like Kanye. I don't have the money and nor the crazy outfits and stuff. All right. So, Bill will be back next week, folks. Robert, I know you've had a headache, brother. I'll be praying for you. I hope you feel better. You funked through it. You came on the show. You took your commitment to the show tonight. And thank you so much for joining me, man. It's a blast. This hour, this flies by so much with you. And I just want to say thank you again for joining me tonight.
Yeah, thanks for having me. And I look forward to being back again. Thanks, guys.
Absolutely. Folks, thanks so much for listening to the program tonight. Remember, you get us on iHeartRadio, you get us on iTunes, Spreaker, most of the major podcast outlets. If you're looking for a link, go to our social media. You can go to Instagram, Getter. You can get us on True Social and Twitter, and you can find the links there. Click on the links, subscribe, and get the latest and greatest every week from the Brow Report. From all of us here, thank you so much for listening to us. We greatly appreciate it. We hope you have an excellent week, and thanks so much for listening. Have a great night, everybody.